Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick and this is You Don't Scare Me. Today I'm going to be once again breaking my promise and doing a slapped hand video. I find them to be a little bit more entertaining to debunk, even though they infuriate me sometimes, but that's okay. It's all part of the joy. It's like playing Elden Ring or Dark Souls, you know. Yes, I'm angry. Yes, I know it sounds like I'm not having a great time, but this is the best time of my life. You know, it's kind of like that. But yeah, we're going to be debunking scary security camera videos that should not exist. And the reason why I'm choosing this is because it says the words security camera in it. And as you might know, I professionally reviewed security camera footage for an insurance company during the pandemic, and that makes me a professional.
This supernatural security footage shows the inside of a garage. A wide-angle fisheye lens is used, which allows for an outstanding range of vision. It's a very typical garage, with cars sitting outside in the driveway and various outdoor and gardening items sprinkled throughout the area in front of the doorway. As the video begins, we can clearly see that it's nighttime. After a few seconds, a mysterious light descends from the sky. It disappears for a moment before seeming to travel right through the side of the truck in the driveway.
Alright, now look. The first one that flies down only appears to be outside of the garage, but it's actually much closer to the face of the lens, right? So it's probably about this far away. The second one is the first one again, but as it transits down to the scene to the lower right, in my experience, whenever I see something like this, it's 90% of the time going to be some form of insect. In this case, it might be like one of those daddy long leg mosquitoes or something similar. It's impossible to verify exactly which insect it is, but it is 99% of the time going to be some innocuous thing like an insect, dust particle, aerated sprays and stuff like that. In this particular case, it's an insect. I mean, it's outside, the garage is open, the light's on, and yet it's in night vision mode. You understand?
At first, it looks sausage-shaped, but as it moves, its almost wisp-like consistency becomes apparent. Once it makes its way into the garage, the bizarre apparition vanishes almost as quickly as it appeared. There isn't anybody around in the shot and no noise to indicate anyone lurking off camera. If you slow the footage down, you can see that the mysterious shape's movements seem somewhat purposeful, yet very odd.
If you take a peach and you put it in front of a security camera at night in the infrared, the peach kind of blooms. It looks like a glowing orb, it's not a solid round object. Like if you took an apple, you would see those nice cut edges. But if you took a peach, like it kind of fuzzes out because of all the peach fuzz on the exterior refracts the light like that. But the female mosquitoes, they have fine hairs on their legs. Their legs dangle down. And as the infrared light hits these fine hairs, it's like scatters. And then when it returns back to the camera, it blooms out to make it look like this ghostly kind of hanging down bit. That core piece that kind of looks like a sausage or a hot dog, let's call it, it's the thorax. It's the main body of the large mosquito. The reason why it gets picked up so greatly on the security camera is because of its size and how much it interferes with the infrared light. The wings, additionally, will cause a round glow around the sausage. This is why this looks distinctly like a female mosquito, those large daddy long leg style mosquitoes. If you look at it again with that in your mind, I think that you'll come to the same conclusion.
Perhaps the eeriest notion is that the light seems to disappear into thin air once it enters the garage. What do you think this security camera has captured? Could it be proof that a ghost is haunting the property, or is there another explanation for this creepy video?
You see what I mean? Do you agree with me? If not, leave a comment down below and tell me what you think it is. As long as you don't say it's a ghost, because we both know it's not.
A chilling piece of footage recently shared by the Facebook page Dimension Breaker has left viewers on edge. The security camera features a woman walking around an office. But watch what happens.
I know this is just nitpicking, but I don't think she's dressed appropriately for being in an office. Or anywhere but a nightclub, for that matter.
Something unseen appears to grab the woman.
Ah, yes, the classic hair pull. I think we've seen our fair share of that. It seems relatively simple. All you have to do is just take a hair tie or some sort of rubber band, wrap a piece of fishing line through the rubber band and just wrap it tightly around the hair. Kind of weave the rubber band, weave the fishing line through different layers of the rubber band so that it doesn't slide out when you pull your hair. She's walking towards the wall. It seems likely that it's possible that she's following the fishing line. When she leans in, she's doing that to make eye contact with the person inside and say, "Yes, now, pull the hair now." And as she turns away, the string gets yanked. We are well aware. I don't know if I really need to go into this much of an explanation, but I continuously remind myself that there are a lot of stupid people out there, so it seems necessary.
This eerie scene resembles something straight out of a horror film. But is this a genuine poltergeist incident, or could there be another explanation? As always, I'll throw this over to you, the viewers, for final judgment. Do you believe this footage is real? What do you think happened to the woman? Let me know your thoughts and theories on this one in the comments down below.
I think that she got completely picked apart by a pack of velociraptors once she entered that room.
Here's an amusing little clip to break up the tension, shared to TikTok by user OxKing.
What tension? You've shown us 2 videos and neither of them were scary.
While on a long trip home in an Uber, this passenger nods off in the front seat. But watch what happens.
Where am I?
What was that?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I just had a nightmare.
Still have fun with this, I think. They're not actually driving anywhere. There is a streetlight on the exterior of the vehicle on the left side. And it is not moving. They are parked.
I wonder if the driver charged a cleaning fee, as he would have almost certainly soiled his trousers.
Where am I?
See how the angle of the streetlight changed as the car rocked around? That's because the camera is not casting an IR light on that window. If the camera was the one casting the light on the window, then it would have moved the same way as the car, because it's fixed to the car. But because it stayed relative to its position right now, we can determine that the streetlight is stationary, exterior to the vehicle, and independent. And these are little tiny details that might not seem that important, but they are things that you will take forward into further videos, and you'll be able to determine things based on that in the future. Every little piece of information helps us debunk more, regardless of how inane it seems.
What was that?
Oh my god, I'm so sorry. I just had a nightmare.
Last little thing about it. He's moving the steering wheel, which means he's intending to create the illusion that he's driving, which means that this is a hoax. It's a setup situation. They just came together and made a funny video.
Redditor T Always Helps posted this next clip to the platform, asking viewers if they thought it shows a ghost. The video is a compilation of footage captured in an unnamed hotel in England, where the poster has worked for the last 16 years. While they admit they don't believe in ghosts, they have heard that the bar, restaurant and kitchen of the hotel are all haunted. Take a look at what the security cameras have captured.
I've seen this many times before. Not this particular video, but something like this happening. So let me explain this to you, and it's going to be annoying to hear. So if you don't like my explanations, then why are you watching my videos? So think about this, okay? You got the wine glass. It's sit in like this, right? In this bar, because that's what fell. It was a wine glass. Okay, it sits like this, upside down, bowl down, so that when they take the wine glass off, there's no debris in the glass. Most glasses are positioned with the rim down for that purpose, okay? So it's hanging there. There is too many glasses. There have been too many glasses placed on this shelf. So the glass is sitting like this, and the edge of the shelf is too close to the stem. So when the glass shifts and settles, this much of the glass is on the wrong side, so it tips over and it falls. That's exactly what's happening here.
We see a glass fall from behind the bar and smash on the floor. Two curious patrons who must have heard the glass break lean over the bar to see what's happened. Next, we see some more strange activity.
Quite simply, this person is fidgeting around in the fridge, causing some vibrations that can knock the glass off. I don't think that this is necessarily going to be paranormal either. Think about it reasonably, okay?
Lastly, we see a yellow caution sign fall over, as if pushed by some sort of unseen force. A cleaner begins to search the area for the cause of the disturbance. England is renowned for its historic pubs, many of which are said to be haunted by spirits from the past.
Historic pub. Structure that has been there for a while. Think about the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Have you seen the floor? Have you seen the staircase that leads up? How it's worn down? Structures that are made of wood and stone will settle. You have much more time to settle, and therefore thousands, millions of patrons that come through the bar, everyone walking there, every single St. Patrick's Day when the bar is crammed to capacity, all of that pushes on the structure. Every single thing that you put in the structure has the capability of changing the structure forever. So if you think about New Year's Day, and every time there's a football game, hockey game, you know, American football game, baseball game, or whatever anybody wants to watch, when everybody crams themselves into those bars, think about that every week or so for the last 100 fucking years. Do you really think that a glass sliding off a bar that is definitely not level anymore is ever going to be interesting to anybody but the people who believe it's paranormal?
Among the eerie goings-on in these old buildings, patrons and staff have reported seeing apparitions along with other spectral figures, heard disembodied voices and footsteps, and, like in the hotel in this video, seen objects moving around and even breaking. Have you ever visited a bar or pub that's said to be haunted? If so, did you witness anything out of the ordinary?
Yes and no.
Love to hear your stories in the comments down below. Here's a quick and eerie little one captured by Facebook user Rick Stewart. One evening in March some years ago, Rick's home security system detected movement at the side of his property. It took several snaps and sent the report to Rick's phone. And there, a mysterious transparent figure can be seen in the driveway. Everything else in the image is quite clear.
Oh, it's a picture. I thought there was going to be a video attached to it. Take any frame of any video, anywhere. Take a single frame out of a moving object. It's going to look transparent.
In this piece of creepy footage, two men are sleeping. They seem somewhat restless and are shifting their arms and legs around.
Based on what I'm looking at right now, I can already tell it's fake. The reason for that is that 2017 security cameras would not be this good. Fine, you might find some in government buildings, police stations, banks, but not in this random room. Hostel, maybe. There would never be a security camera inside of a sleeping room for patrons. So if this is your primary residence and this is your actual home, then fine, I guess, but there's no reason to place a security camera in here because there is nothing to secure. Secondly, the security camera's night vision mode does not... We've seen several of these night vision videos during this video in particular. Have you ever seen a green filter applied to any of them? No, because it's non-standard. The type of infrared that requires the green light is not going to be in a security camera. That is a specialized night vision system. You would spend like $1,000 on each camera if that was the case in 2017. The price might have come down by now, but quite frankly, there is no part of this, seeing this one single frame that I'm looking at right now, that looks authentic in the slightest.
Since sleep is a time for the brain to relax, some experts have suggested that humans may be able to sense paranormal activity more easily in this state. 50 seconds into the recording, the dorm room door opens up. It appears to open on its own because there's no one there. 20 seconds later, something barely visible enters the room. Viewers may notice a slight shift in the image.
People seem to always think that when there's a visual disturbance in the image, it means that something paranormal is happening. But in reality, it means that there is some video editing taking place.
After a few more seconds pass, the legs of the man who is closest to the camera start to lift. The initial lift doesn't wake him up. He starts to stir awake as he's yanked toward the end of the bed, with his legs being pulled up into the dorm room's ceiling.
You can literally see the rope that's pulling his leg up. It's around his ankle. I'll put a screenshot right here. You see that? It's around his ankle.
As his legs are being lifted high enough for him to almost be in a headstand, the man realizes that he's being hoisted up and starts to fight whatever it is that's pulling him along. The spirit almost succeeds in pulling him entirely off the bed, but at the last moment, it releases him.
If you're still unconvinced,
the boy sits up and looks towards the open door. He seems confused as he searches for whatever it was that lifted him up. He then gets up and walks out into the hallway, likely searching for a human culprit. However, it seems it was something more sinister that disturbed his rest.
it's strange because it's like they tried to hide it, but also didn't try to hide it at the same time. Like, they tried to hide the string or the rope that's being hoisted up into the roof, which I would assume that there's probably some sort of walkway. This might not be like a single level room. It might be a two-level room with like a balcony railing to walk through. Could be like a, I don't know, hallway or something. Regardless, he's being hoisted up. Something's tied around his ankle, and they removed this portion, but they left the portion that's around his leg, probably because they thought that if somebody didn't see this part, they would never pay attention to this part.
Here's an amusing little one coming via some security footage posted on TikTok by user Can You Not Though. The footage, captured by an interior camera in the uploader's home during daylight hours, initially depicts an ordinary scene. But watch what happens.
Proper security placement. He's got a security camera placed on some sort of mantle in the far right corner of the room, face towards the window. and the front door and the staircase. He is securing 3 locations to this property. Upstairs, down, front door, in, through the window. This is the proper security camera placement. Anybody who places their security camera in a weird place is faking something. So keep that in mind going forward.
No. Don't do that.
Something seems to fall off the shelf.
It's a Christmas card. You know, the ones that are placed. They're like this. He's walking into the room. He's disturbing the air. I please make that not be the thing.
No.
However, instead of getting scared, the man starts lecturing an unseen presence.
No. Don't do that.
It's as though he's used to strange things happening around his home and has grown accustomed to telling ghosties off.
No. Don't do that.
A lot of commenters gelled with the footage, admitting they
That's it? A Christmas card fell off the mantle? I'm reminded constantly why I hate slapped ham.
also do the same thing when something strange happens around them. So what about you? Have you ever told a ghost off? Let me know in the comments down below.
No. Don't do that.
Bear my misery.
In a disquieting incident on a quiet Brisbane road, dashcam footage has captured the eerie moment a man approached a car in what many suspect was an attempted carjacking. The unsettling encounter occurred in October of 2023 on Pineland Road at Sunnybank Hills, approximately 20 kilometres from Brisbane's CBD. The footage, which was quickly spread across social media after being shared on Facebook, shows a man slowly walking down the deserted road. The driver then quickly speeds away.
I don't know if you've seen Scrubs, but you remember Hooch? 5.1 surround sound.
And someone will be getting mowed down.
Driver's unsettling experience has sparked widespread concern, with many suggesting that the late-night encounter was a possible hijacking attempt. Social media reactions were swift and filled with alarm. Many users speculated that the man's actions were part of a broader pattern of criminal behaviour in the area. Authorities have not yet confirmed if the incident is part of a larger trend, but the public's reaction highlights the need for ongoing vigilance.
Look, if somebody steps out in front of your vehicle in such a manner, there's one of 2 options. They're in need of help, and if they are, they will be signaling you in such a way that it would be very clear that they were in need of help, or they will be doing something like this, attempting to block you to get you into a defenseless position. I think that in this particular case, you just need to turn off your dash cam. I have no sympathy for criminals.
As the investigation continues, drivers are urged to stay safe and report any suspicious activity to the police.
Might I recommend
Whenever someone goes out for a tasty meal, they probably don't anticipate being served from a haunted kitchen. However, after seeing this footage shared by Desdi Masala Zerchu, that could be the kind of grade A ghostly service that one might receive from this commercial cookery. The footage opens up with a woman in a well-lit and tidy kitchen working inside a large refrigeration unit. She's organising the various meals and other prep items for the dinner rush, and doesn't seem particularly fazed by anything. After spending a while rummaging around, something unexpected catches her attention. She jumps in shock, flinging the refrigerator closed in response to the ghostly action.
Ooh, boy, that was a lot for relatively nothing. First off, she didn't fling the door closed. She let it close. Second off, it's very clearly just somebody placed a bag of flour or sugar on the shelf, on a wire shelf, and it just fell forward and then fell off and all over the floor. If you have ever worked in a kitchen, this has probably happened. It happened with me when I was working in a cafeteria, like 3 or 4 times. We had a storeroom and things wouldn't sit on the shelves. You'd think you got it. You know, you put the bag of flour down or like the little block of sugar. You think you got it, right? But little do you know, it's just slightly off balanced. So you go, all right, everything looks good. You leave, you go, you do your stuff, you clean the grill or whatever. You come back in, boom, flour all over the floor. It's because the bag slowly tipped forward and then fell off.
Seemingly for no reason at all, we see a small bowl of flour flung violently from the stainless steel rack behind her, closely followed by a red cup.
Okay, I get it. I know you're going to say that. Oh, that cup flew out of there. Listen. Bing, choo. Any questions?
The cup goes spinning off to the corner of the kitchen near a trash can, and the flour falls in a heap on the floor. After pausing for a moment to examine the situation, bizarrely, the woman just returns to stacking the refrigerator.
You know why? Because she works in a kitchen. And she has experienced this exact thing so many times that it doesn't even faze her anymore. It's not a ghost. It's just physics.
Although the incident could have been some type of elaborate prank, the footage doesn't show any sign of human activity in the kitchen.
Other than her.
Considering that it seems there isn't much room to fit behind the stainless steel rack, it's highly unlikely that anyone could have thrown the cup and spilled the flour with such aggressive force.
Does it make you feel weird that he just said stainless steel rack? Like, oh, look at me. I can identify the material based on its appearance. I don't know. It just kind of, I mean, I know I do that too, but it's okay when I do it because I'm doing it and I don't mind when I do it, but I mind when other people do it. You know, I'm a kind of hypocrite.
What then could have caused such a startling event? Have you ever had something unexpectedly happen in the kitchen? Perhaps a misplaced item or dish that suddenly fell to the ground? If so, remember that this footage seems to show that hauntings could occur just about anywhere.
All right, so yeah, we're all pretty well aware that basically, like, I figured you probably need a little bit more explanation than bing, bang, boom. So the flour sack fell down on a plastic bowl that was sitting here. The flour sack is 5 kilos, let's say, smacks down with 5 kilos, which flips the bowl up that hits the top of the shelf and then ricochets out. It doesn't fly very far. It's not like it gets yeeted across the room. It falls in the same amount of speed and velocity and distance that I would suspect something that would have been, you know, catapulted, you know, flipboard, whatever.
In this spine-chilling video shared to our Slaptam subreddit by user SaturdayEst84, viewers see what might be paranormal activity captured by a security camera. The footage, initially showing what looks like innocuous dust or smoke, takes a mysterious turn at the 35-second mark.
It seems more likely that it's cold and that this is some sort of dryer vent with some, like, heat. You know, like steam, basically. Alright, so we see a whole bunch of steam or, you know, vape smoke or cigarette smoke. It doesn't really matter. Somebody could have been hitting a bong, you know, but we see a whole bunch of smoke, which we all are fully aware. Like, look at clouds, right? You can see an elephant in a cloud. There's no substance to the cloud. It's not forming an elephant because it wants to be an elephant. It's just a formless amount of fog that we attribute whatever the hell we want to it. So it's the same thing happening here. It's just the last little dregs of whatever steam blowing past the camera. And because it blows from right to left, we then use our stupid brains to try to like find meaning where there is none. And we say, wow, there's a ghost running past the screen.
There's a ghostly looking shape moving across the screen from right to left.
I didn't rewatch that, I fucking promise.
The poster from Pangasinan, Philippines hints at a possibly supernatural explanation, mentioning local lore about a girl in a white dress seen wandering the area. Many locals believe she wanders near old fortune trees, one that used to stand right near where this camera is placed.
That's stupid. It's not there anymore.
These trees, perceived by some as a portal, have since been replaced by smaller plants.
A portal? A portal needs to be like have an entrance or like a passage. What? This brick wall is a portal.
Yet the eerie sightings seem to continue. This video not only captures what could be a ghostly apparition, but also ties into the local folklore, adding a layer of intrigue and mystery to the viewer's experience.
That's called misdirection. Remember that.
Late night intrigue has emerged at Carmarthen's Lyric Theatre in Wales, where a security camera captured an eerie image that sparked much speculation. Nathan Wynne Davies, the observer behind the footage, reports a ghostly presence haunting the theatre's deserted corridors. Davies notes that the image was captured.
Oh, great. It's another image. Look at this. Look at this. Look at it. It's literally a photograph of a CRT screen in this day and age. What do you expect? What do you expect from this? The screen looks like it wants to die, and you've slapped it on a security camera? What, for like aesthetics or something? Like, what? Who the hell even has a CRT screen anymore, let alone one that's using that in the purpose of being a security camera, like, viewer? Are you... This is so obviously staged. Like, oh my god, like, think about it. Just think about it for a minute, okay? Even if this is like a 10-year-old video, a CRT screen displaying a security camera?
In the middle of the night, showing a mysterious figure standing between the locked inner and outer doors. He also recalls previous sightings of the spectral visitor, seen either seated in the upper area of the theatre or pacing the perimeter, sometimes wearing a distinctive flat cap and thick coat. As whispers of this mysterious figure spread through the theatre, a subtle warning follows. If you find yourself wandering the Lyric Theatre's corridors, keep an eye out for the apparition. Within these walls, it seems, legends and spectres freely roam, casting shadows on the unsuspecting.
It's literally a photograph of a dying CRT TV displaying a still image of a ghost. It's so bad. It's so bad.
This next video was submitted to our Slaptam official community over on Facebook. In it, we see an amorphous, transparent shape that appears to be hovering over someone sleeping in bed. At first, one would be excused for thinking the shape could simply be a bug on the lens. This is...
Oh, it's an overlay. Fine, I'll learn something new. Let's see if I figured it out. It's, I don't know, behind me. Ooh, scary. If I'm just gesticulating and nothing's behind me, I didn't have the patience to learn.
Often the explanation given for so many so-called ghost videos. However, what happens next seems to prove this isn't the case at all. A few seconds pass before several...
Ask yourself why there's a cart full of random supplies just beside this person sleeping. It's specifically to pull strings in multiple directions, to yank things off. Is that an IV drip stand? Still makes no sense.
Items are violently thrown from the shelf next to the bed. The light then keeps moving ever closer towards the sleeping person.
Oh, that was so bad. That was so bad. Look, I don't mean to be narcissistic or anything, but I can figure out how to do something that looks better than that. Honestly, the last thing with the smoke behind me, that took like 3 seconds. I mean, like actually probably like it took me like 3.5 minutes, 4 minutes to learn how to do that. Oh, Jesus Christ.
The man then wakes up and is immediately confused.
Jesus Christ. What the hell?
While the video's description suggests that it shows a ghost caught on camera, one viewer made a very interesting observation. Just after the items are thrown onto the bed, the strange shape seems to shrink, almost as if it's entering the sleeping man's body.
That is not what I thought he was going to say. I thought he was going to be like, an interesting observation. Here's something that absolutely nobody could have noticed. But instead, he said the thing that everybody noticed. One user made that observation. Special teams, special players.
The viewer suggested that the man might actually be astral travelling, perhaps while in a dream state. Since then, the video's also been analysed from a more skeptical stance, with several key points suggesting that the whole thing might simply be a well-orchestrated hoax.
Well orchestrated. Give your balls a tug.
For starters, the timestamp in the upper left corner seems to move in double time.
Who gives a shit? Like, yeah, I noticed it. But, like, it's so, like, secondary to the fucking obvious video editing, the obvious overlay, the obvious bullshit, that it didn't even seem that interesting enough to point out. Who gives a shit?
Yet when the man gets up, he appears to move at normal speed.
What the hell is going on?
The fact too that the camera is pointing directly at the bed has also left some viewers questioning the video's authenticity.
Now, with the IV drip bag and the possibility of hospice, it does make sense that there would be a security camera placed here to keep an eye on the person who's supposed to be resting in that bed, who requires an IV drip bag and a cart full of supplies right nearby. So that's not really necessary. You know what I mean? That's not really the thing you're supposed to notice.
So what do you think? A ghost, astral traveler, or just a hoax? Let me know down below.
Really shitty video editing. Thanks for watching. My name is Nick. You've been watching You Don't Scare Me. If you liked the video, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Come back tomorrow. I'm going to be posting another video. We post every single day, 5 shorts a day. Probably not the 5 shorts a day. By the time this video goes up, I'll have gotten sick of the shorts, and I'll probably bring it down to 2 so that I can really pad how much time I can spend not making shorts. I don't like them. I don't like trying to find interesting points of my video and then coming up with a brand new title for a second video. Ugh. I might still be doing it. I don't know. I might find a more efficient way of doing it. But yeah, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. See you tomorrow. Love you. Bye.